advantageous to keep them live virtual and or go back to in-person classes. So it sounds like, Patty, from your work site, participation was obviously good in person, and that would perhaps be a preference from with your team. So nobody's others, any other feedback out there? Okay, so don't be surprised if those classes, you see those classes fading out then, especially the live virtual classes throughout the summer. We will continue to work through that. All right, I am going to go on down and talk through the cooking demos. As you know, there was one that was just sent out this week, but we've been sending out a monthly cooking demonstration that's pre-recorded. And then there's an option to pay attention and submit the code word or answer or secret answer or whatever for a Healthy Habits 4-week nutrition sessions with a dietitian at Hy-Vee. Those have actually been going pretty well. We have a lot of people engaged in responding to those submissions and feedback. But this is the last month for the one that's currently out, which is easy as 1, 2, 3 dinner ideas for a busy schedule. I will just highlight, for those of you that have had the opportunity to look through that at this point, it's a different dietitian than what we've had in the past. Her name is Tara Sally. And so the video itself is a little bit different. I think she's just getting used to this, but we'll have that fine-tuned if we should continue this going into next year. But this is also one of the questions that I've asked, one of the topics I've asked in the employee wellbeing survey as well, because if you recall with cooking demonstrations, those used to be on site in person. And obviously that wasn't the case this year. So any feedback just up front from any of you guys on the call regarding those? No, going once, twice.
I think it's the same thing as far as the camaraderie of the staff coming together for the in-person opportunities. I think people get busy in their independent time, and just the busyness keeps people from doing it the virtual route. Even though there seems to be more flexibility with the virtual route, people like the assigned time to attend with the camaraderie of the group.
Okay. And I'm sure that goes back to also, Patty, just that social interaction and having opportunities to be around each other and interact, and from a relational standpoint, I'm sure that probably has a lot to do with it as well. But that is very good. I appreciate that feedback.
Just thinking about that, this is Erin. Just thinking about that, it could be something that even individual buildings could do with those cooking demos is, everybody try it, and not ever, if you want to try it, and then we can all talk about how it went, and you don't have to have social interaction be in person. You could even email back and forth, share photos of it, just make it more social, so that it gets more engagement. Just a thought.
Yeah, good suggestion, Erin. And of course, having said that, with the in-person piece, I mean, we don't know, obviously, moving forward what that's going to look like next year, if it's a possibility or not, but we'll see when the time comes. Determine how we'll move forward. All right, I'm going to move on to mobile mammograms if there's nothing else to be said on the cooking demonstrations. With the mobile mammogram, there is one left in the district coming up on May 13th. It's at Transportation, and it's from 8 to 2:30. I had the flyer attached, but I noticed that it didn't make it to my Google Docs, so I need to get that back out to you guys. There's just some information there on a phone number to call and such if you're interested. Leslie, do you have anything to add to that regarding the mobile mammography coming out on May 13th? Do you know what the schedule looks like at this point?
Hold on.
Sorry, I kind of put you on the spot.
Okay. The last time I checked, I got an email from Abby and she said there was like only 8 spots filled. So there's still plenty of openings.
Okay. Okay, so it sounds like 8 have signed up and the rest of those spots are open at that point. Okay. So if that's of interest to you guys or anybody at your work sites, definitely go ahead and check with your insurance to make sure your insurance does cover that always. And again, I will get that flyer back out there as well. It looks like there's some feedback in the chat regarding the mobile memo. It has to be the time due for, yeah. Yeah, the timing of it, Patty, it looks like. And then Aaron has placed some feedback in there too. Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Aaron. All right, any questions with the mobile memos?
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
I had some of our staff ask, and I wasn't sure what to tell them, but they had been reading that if they had their COVID vaccine, it could cause swollen lymph nodes, and they were concerned that that would show something in the mammogram. So we had some people that decided to wait this year for their mammogram instead of doing it. But we do have a lot of staff that take advantage of that as well. But
right, yeah. I know. April and I talked about that because April was bringing them out to Lee Summit West as well. We were talking about that, and I know that that was something that we looked at, and definitely encourage you to have that conversation with your physician. I think there's been some information going out there regarding, you know, they don't want you to wait. If it's time to have that done, go ahead. To communicate with your doctor, yes, I've had the vaccine, so that they can be on the lookout and in the know should something come back abnormal, to factor that into it. But that waiting could perhaps pose other challenges if something were not detected in time. So that's a good question, Alicia. Thanks for bringing that up. April, anything that you wanted to add to that? Because I think you guys went ahead and had that at West, right? All right, she might be starting class or whatnot, so. All right, I am going to scroll on down and talk through box salads from Nutrition Services. Hopefully you guys were able, those that wanted to take advantage of this opportunity were able to get those scheduled for your work sites. If you recall, in the past, we've done the Hy-Vee salad bars, but this year we chose to go with the box salads from Nutrition Services. Obviously, because of COVID, the salad bars and that open meal style was not necessarily a safe way to go about it. So we went box salads, and we decided to keep this within the district this year. That deadline has since passed. So if you had not ordered those for your work sites, that opportunity is not available. Obviously, with the last few weeks, that overloads Nutrition Services as well. But obviously, those of you that have it scheduled for the next week or so, couple weeks, or in the coming days, obviously those will still go through. As a reminder, what will happen with that is she'll just send me the invoice. I usually get those at the end of the month and take care of that. So it's just a matter of your behalf of placing that order, confirming the date works, collecting those orders from your teammates, and then moving forward from there. I do have the agenda linked up with directions on how to go about that. But again, that opportunity has now come to a close with this school year. Right, anything there? You bet, Daphne. I see your comment in there. I'm glad that that was a hit with your staff and that it was enjoyed. And you are very welcome. Any other feedback from anybody else that utilized that service? We will hopefully be able to make that opportunity available again next year. So, all right, I'm going to move on down and just review through virtual financial presentations. There's one more left for this year, and it is May 6th, so it's tonight. And that presentation is your retirement plan at work. Again, it's virtual. It's with our financial advisors that work with the district, Zach and or Evan or both of them. There's still time to register. It is linked up to the agenda if this is of interest and you have time for that. So don't forget about it. Don't forget too, guys, to remind your employees and your teams as well, as that there are financial questions, budgeting, whatever it may be. You can reach out to Zach or Evan anytime for a one-on-one consultation. They're meeting virtually, so that option is always available to you. There actually is a third advisor, and his name slips my mind. There's a third one in the district also.
William Sirota.
Say that again, Sarah.
William Sirota.
There it is. Okay, William Sirota. So William, Zach, and Evan. Okay, I'm going to scroll on down and just talk through EAP, Life Matters. They have provided a couple of virtual presentations in the past. One of them was called Effective Coping Strategies for Mental Wellbeing, and it was a hit. It was a hit the first time they offered it. Registration went really quickly, so they offered it again. And once again, I know I sent it out in the Well emails, and it quickly filled up once again. And so what they did is they recorded it and they did send that out. So I have linked the recording to that up here on the agenda for you so that you can tune into that if that's something that you want to listen to. There is another presentation, virtual presentation set with those guys next week, and it's called Preparing for Re-Entry from COVID-19, Managing Fear and Anxiety. It's May 11th, and it's from 12 to 1, so I know that time doesn't work for everybody, but they have enlarged their platform now because their presentations have been so popular and utilized. So there is not a registration limit. I think they have 1,000 spots available. And I've provided directions there on how to join that if that is of interest. I'm not sure if that's going to be recorded and sent out, but they are available if that fits into your schedule and you have interest. I've also attached this time, I have attached quite a few flyers from Empathia, from Life Matters, that you are more than welcome to print out and place in your work sites anytime. Those flyers include one on companionship. There's a mentally healthy flyer, renewing friendships. That one is not necessarily a flyer, but more of a newsletter style with tips and information on creative problem solving, dollars and cents. And then it talks through trimming your entertainment budget. So some financial information there. But you're more than welcome to print those out anytime, provide those to staff, have them available. Those first two, the companionship and the mentally healthy, those are good opportunities. We talked at one point about stall talks and putting those up on the back of bathroom doors at your locations. So that those would be a great opportunity for something like that also. Don't forget, guys, I say this every time, but Life Matters is available to you, your employees, spouses, dependent children, up to the age of 26 to utilize their services. They have a variety of services from work-life balance to mental health challenges, relational, financial, legal. There are a lot of services that they have available for you to utilize. It's just a matter of contacting them. So please take advantage of those opportunities. If you have any questions regarding Life Matters, don't hesitate to reach out to me. They are there for us. All right. Any questions there with Life Matters? All right, I'm going to go on down and just wrap up and talk through the Play Ball Challenge quickly. A lot of you guys are registered and participating in the Play Ball Challenge, so thank you. I love to see those participation numbers go up. That challenge does end May 30th, so keep moving, keep tracking your steps, and keep participating in those bonus steps as well, which include acts of kindness and then stretching activities. Those who successfully complete this, your names will go into a drawing for Royals tickets. And so those winners will be notified in June. So look for that. And I'll, of course, wrap up the program in its entirety and get those emails sent out to everybody also. We just wrapped up a 9-week mindfulness training webinar, and that really be focused around self-regulation, focus, and resilience. And it was pretty successful. So I am going to offer another one, and hopefully information will be coming out next week on that. It will take place in the months of June, July, and August, but look for registration on that next week. We meet weekly, one time a week, weekly for about 30 to 45 minutes. I try to keep those meetings as close to 40 or 30 minutes as possible, and discuss a different area of mindfulness, and then walk through a lot of different practices with that as well. But look for information to come out on that next week in the Well email. CSA, that's also coming. That's still a work in progress. I was hoping to have information out on that soon. I know I mentioned it last time, but I'm still trying to tie up some loose ends with those that we've partnered with for that. So I'm hoping that you will see information come out very soon on that, or we're going to miss that window of opportunity because a lot of you guys won't be here through the summer. And then finally, I just want to remind everybody that the annual employee well-being survey is coming hopefully as soon as next week. I know it's a little late and you guys have a ton going on. You're wrapping up a lot of things. And I hate that for the survey's sake, but it is important that we get your feedback, because that's really how we determine and drive the employee well-being program going into the next year. So that is up and coming. Hopefully you'll see that out next week. There'll be an incentive for the first 100 that take advantage and fill the survey out. And then there'll be incentives for those that complete the survey and send it in overall as well. Your name will go into a drawing for various gift cards. So encourage your team to put that feedback in there so that we can continue to drive the well-being program and get those resources and services and opportunities out there to you and what you need and want, and to stay well and take care of yourself. Somebody asked if we are doing a health fair this year, and I don't have any definitive answers, I guess, for you on that at this point. At this point, health fair is not scheduled. But something that perhaps can definitely be looked at. All right, finally, meetings as far as next year, next school year. Most likely the next meeting going into the next year's school year will take place late September. So just to give you a heads up on that. If you're not interested or you don't think that you're going to have the time to allocate to the Well Champ position, please reach out to me and let me know, and we'll work to find another person to be able to fill that opportunity in that spot. But I'd like to open it up and gain some feedback from you guys as far as how you would like to proceed going into next year, as far as formats. What we've done in the past prior to this year is our meetings were all once a month. They were in person. They were from 7:30 to 8:30, usually on Thursday mornings. We'd meet, there'd be breakfast available, and we would basically just cover upcoming opportunities like we have been doing via Zoom, of what's up to come. Many of you would have to get a sub for a half day in order to make that hour meeting. Of course, you would also get paid for that hour meeting as well, you would get paid for that. But that was that could be, I guess, more of a downside to continuing these in person. But what we also have typically seen with offering these meetings in person on a monthly basis is lower participation, lower attendance, because several of you voiced that it's hard to, number one, get a sub for a half day for an hour meeting. Number two, just getting your own kids ready and out the door, out of the house, and to go, that these virtual meetings seem to be more convenient. We've found that tends to be more engagement in these meetings also. But if that were an opportunity to go in person next year, talk to me about that. What does that look like? What does that sound like? What are your thoughts on that? I see some, I prefer Zooms. We can't find subs. Yes, and that's obviously another concern and challenge. When I'm out, we don't get subs. I prefer Zoom. Another one. Reading
And
on.
I think, yeah, and I think I might just add, do you all feel like the Zoom, the virtual platform, is effective? Have we been effective this year virtually? I think is something to think about as well.
And how can we improve? I'm seeing that virtual is effective, but this time is tough. Okay, sub coverage is difficult for that half hour. I see a comment regarding it would be helpful to have a half day of working on well-being stuff 3 to 4 times a year. It does take time to put these things together, yes. Okay. Well, thank you for that feedback. And as other things come up or you think of something after the fact, please don't hesitate to get with me. We're weighing this out. We're weighing these decisions out to try to figure out what the best way is to move forward to meet the majority of you that we possibly can. Meet you where you're at and be effective in getting this information out there. Again, please don't hesitate to connect with me. If there's something that you can think of too that I can help to make it easier for you, because it does take some planning time for some of these items, certainly let me know. Anything else? Anything else that anybody wants to add?
No, I just want to echo, I thank each of you. I know it's been a tough school year, and just adding, kind of one more responsibility to your roles this year in regards to being the well-being champ in your building. I do thank you for that and the dedication to this team and to your employees' well-being. So thank you very much.
Yes, and that was kind of how I wanted to, Sarah, close that out. So thank you for leading us into that. I too just want to once again thank each and every one of you guys for your time and for caring for the well-being of your worksite employees. It's been a tough year, and it's been tough to take care of our own well-being, let alone thinking of the well-being of everybody else around us and so forth. And you guys have done an amazing job of that. You're so appreciated. This information and this job could not be done without each and every one of you guys disseminating that information, getting it out there, listening to your team members, and bringing that information back to serve as many people as we possibly can. So thank you for all of your work. It looks like there was another comment in here that this year's been hard because of COVID. Yes, next year, I'd like to brainstorm some ideas on how to involve more of our staff. We can certainly do that. Yes, and maybe we can spend some time in some of these meetings, brainstorming some ideas on how to get more folks involved, and what folks are actually looking for, perhaps also. With that being said too, moving ahead and looking at next year and looking at meetings, are there specific topics that you think that would be helpful to know and have more information on that would be helpful? In the past, I know I brought in Life Matters and had them give us an overview of the EAP program in its entirety. I brought in VALIC AIG and had them give an overview of the financial well-being piece of it and what opportunities are. Any suggestions from you guys on what would be helpful and serve you better in your roles as well-being champions? Going once, twice. All right, gang, I think this meeting is a wrap. I don't have anything else. I'm going to stay on here for a couple more minutes though. So if anybody has any questions or wants to chat about anything, I am here. Thank you for all your work. I wish you the very best in closing out this year for those of you that are closing it out. And we'll be here if you need anything. Holler at us.